Alright, hello girls. If you've watched my videos over fraction questions, that would probably be a good place to start. If you haven't watched those, I would maybe go back and watch those first. Because this one, it does involve fractions, but it looks slightly different than what we've seen before. So go back and watch that other video first if you have not yet. Anyway, so the reason this looks a little bit different is because yes, we have a fraction by itself on the left-hand side of our equation, but on the right-hand side, we have more than one term. Okay, we have x take away 2, which is more than just one value, so it will look slightly different. Remember, I've talked about the steps when we're working with fractions. The first one was to isolate the fraction, which we already have done, or it comes that way in this question. The fraction is the only thing that we see on the left-hand side of our equation. So step 1, check. And then step 2 is to clear the denominator. And what I mean by that, we've talked about, we just take the value in the denominator. So in this case, the value in the denominator is 3, and I'll multiply both sides of the equation by that number. Okay. What happens on the left-hand side, when we multiply by the denominator, those 3's will cancel each other out, and then we're left with just what's left on top of the fraction there, so 2x plus 1. But on the right-hand side, we look a little bit different. On the right-hand side, there's a reason I put this in brackets, because when I multiply the right-hand side of my equation by 3, I need to make sure that I multiply every single value of that right-hand side by 3. So it's kind of like we're expanding the brackets out by multiplying that 3. So you could even rewrite it as 3 brackets x minus 2 so that you know that we need to expand this out. All right. So I'm going to recopy this down. I have 2x plus 1 on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side now, I have 3 times x, which is 3x. And then 3 times minus 2, which is minus 6. So we're really bringing together a lot of the algebra that we've been learning for the past several weeks. It has been preparing us for solving equations. So hopefully you can handle putting all of these pieces together. That's a big step for you. All right. So now we have this equation that kind of looks similar to what we talked about on Thursday, where we have an equation with letters on both sides. And so from here, we're going to take that first step that I talked about where we decide which side has more x's and how I can get rid of the x's on one side of the equation. So this side has more x's, 3x is greater than 2x. So I want to eliminate x from this side of the equation by taking away 2x. Remember, when I do that, I need to do the same thing on the right-hand side. So take away 2x as well. These have gone away. I'll bring down that plus 1 or just 1. Bring down my equal symbol. And then I have 3x take away 2x, which is 1x, or we're smart enough just to write x. And then we'll also bring down this minus 6. Always be careful with the signs. If you see a minus, it stays minus. It's not plus 6, it's a minus 6. Okay, and then we just need to solve from there. Trying to get x by itself. Right now, x has this minus 6 next to it, so to do the opposite, I'm going to plus 6 to both sides. That gives me 7. Okay, you can always flip it around. X equals 7, and that will be your answer.